Gang, welcome to Two Guys Garage. If you've ever wanted, I don't know, me and Kevin to put 600 horsepower in a paper airplane, well, my friends, today is your day.
That's right. Now meet Paper Airplane. We're not done folding it up yet. We've got all kinds of stuff. Yes. Wheels, tires, brakes, suspension, interior, wiring. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's going to be wild and crazy. You guys stick around. All right, gang, come on in and soak up the eye candy. We've got a great start on our latest Federated Cobra Replica Sweepstakes, a giveaway project, one of many we've done over the years.
Yeah, think about all the great things we built with our partners at Federated. Talking a couple service trucks, right? Remember Kenny Schrader's 49 pickup?
Truck. Yeah, I love that old truck.
Oh, man. I spent hours in to see that, driving it down here.
We had
what
the
else?
off-road experience with
That's
that
right.
Jeep. That thing was great. But this one is a whole different direction and experience.
Yeah, now understand, right now when you look at it, it's a Shell Valley Cobra replica.
Right, the outside's looking pretty good, but the inside, you know, there's a lot to come together, and that's what's gonna make today exciting.
Yeah, man, we're talking nearly 550 horsepower in a vehicle that weighs
9 pounds?
Yeah, maybe 11.
Yeah. Now we've got our start here from Shell Valley. Now these guys have been building vehicles for 46 years. They've got all kinds of different replicas and kits, you know, from the old Cheetahs, Daytona Coupe replicas, you know, a Model A sort of Ford style.
Jeeps and so forth.
Yeah, man.
They add Kevlar into the body. That gives you a lot of strength. And another great thing about Shell Valley is they don't harvest parts from like donor cars like other companies do. All the parts and components on this car, we're using are brand new.
And they do some upgrades, like kind of reconfiguring the cockpit, doing the floor pans for us tall guys to fit better. A great platform. You can see we've got a lot of progress done, but we're gonna have to start moving forward and getting it completed.
Man, this is a little pocket full of fun right here, man. Stick around, it's gonna be fun. Let's get after it.
All right, it's time for us to finish off the brake system on the car, but let's get you up to speed a little bit on our setup here.
Yeah, man. Now, our brakes and our suspension components we got from Sintrek. Now, there's quality control and then there's Sintrek, right? Now, take a look. We got ball joints, tie rod ends, and brake components. And let me kind of show you what's going on with the ball joint, and you'll see what I mean. So, right out of the gate, typically this is covered with metal. You see this polymer sort of covering on here. Now, unlike a lot of ball joints that aren't micro finished like this guy is, and you see this in their tie rod ends and their ball joints, super smooth. Typically you see a lot of porosities, some burrs and whatnot in there, but you'll also see how these things ride inside this little polymer cup, right? And then this one sits on top of it, and that's reduces friction, reduces wear, and really for the guys that are, you know, out there on the track racing a lot, you'll feel that in every dive in and every turn, man.
Because everything is nice and super smooth, unlike the competitors that use metal on metal, shove a bunch of grease in there, you get a little more notchy feel. This is OE design right here. Real high quality stuff. Now, Centric Parts, they're one of the leading manufacturers of OE and aftermarket brakes and suspension. And when you look over at their performance division, StopTech, and we all know those guys, man. They make some seriously cool stuff for brakes.
Now, these are the StopTech STR racing calipers. Typically, the word gorgeous and calipers don't go in the same sentence together, but look at these things. They're all machined. They are absolutely gorgeous. They're lighter. Take a look at that finish. Really, it's just an unbelievable caliper, and the weight of it.
Yeah, I mean, look at this guy. Now, it starts out as a high-quality forging, and then you can see they whittle away everything that's not necessary to make a brake system work, so you get a light and a stiff setup. Now, this removable center bridge here, you know, as these pads are trying to push apart and this caliper is flexing, right? This keeps it super stiff, one of the stiffest in the market. And by removing that, you can pop the pads out real easy for quick pad changes.
Yeah.
I mean, super attention to detail.
Yeah, everything, attention to detail, super convenient, yet performance-based. The R&D they do at StopTech is incredible.
Yeah, now because we're going with classic, smaller 15-inch, we had to go with a one-piece rotor and hub assembly. But they have everything from two-piece, all sizes, shapes, for whatever you need. And what's really great about StopTech is they go after a balanced system. You can stick a big caliper on something and you can lock up some front tires, but you need all four tires on the ground gripping for maximum stopping performance. So it's really about the complete system. Everything down to stainless braided lines, so you have stiffness everywhere. You've got good pedal feel. We've got new brackets that are going in this thing.
Yes.
So we're gonna start bolting all this together so we have that awesome pedal feel. All right, now while we got this up in the air, finishing off the brakes, show you a little bit of the underpinnings. Now, this is great because you got an old classic car, but modern suspension, double A-arm, coilovers, and rack and pinion steering, so it's gonna drive awesome. Now, for value, we went with a Cardone remanufactured rack and pinion. Now, what's great about going with something like Cardone is you're gonna get a lot of engineering upgrades for maybe potential issues from the original design, and all new seals and everything pressure tested. So it's gonna be as good as new, maybe even better in some cases. So we're gonna be able to steer and carve up those roads. Now, we can get this thing back down, take a quick break. When we come back, now it's time to look at that 550 horsepower power plant, mating the transmission, getting ready to go in the car.
Considering its popularity, a surprisingly small number of original Cobras were made between 1961 and 1968. In fact, only 998 models were assembled. That total includes both the leaf spring and coil spring models. Which of those two options is more rare? We'll have the answer when we return. So which version of the original Cobra is more rare, the leaf spring or coil spring? While 655 leaf spring models were made, just over half as many of the coil spring models were built, 343 in total.
All right, welcome back, kids. Check it out. We're back on our Cobra replica Federated Sweepstakes giveaway, and look what we have here.
Yeah, man, this is from Performance Unlimited. Love these guys. Have one of the motors in my car. This is 347 cubic inches of America right here, throwing down 550 plus horsepower.
Yes. Woo. What started out as a 260 way back in the day has worked its way to 347 cubics in the same package. Like I said, 550 horsepower, hand built by Performance Unlimited,
Yes.
all custom stuff, anything you want, dyno tested, and ready to go in this vehicle. So let's spin her, bolt her together, and get her in.
All right, we could have gone with a carburetor on a 550 horsepower small block, but why? Because nowadays you can get fuel injection for the same price. Instep's Phytex Go EFI 4 Series, this thing is incredible. Now it's a wet flow annual discharge throttle body. Check this out, in this pod right here is actually the ECM. They were the first to come up with a 4-wire plug and play system. It's so simple. So check it out, all you need is a constant power, a switch power, fuel pump power, and a tack signal, and you're good to go. It actually tunes itself, okay? Also, on the backside, you have your distributor hooked up. You have your programmer, which is right here. You can program it on the fly. You have coolant temps and even an O2 sensor that comes with it. And like I said, it's programmable. So you can add some more fuel. You can lean it out on the road. Also coming with it is the Hyperfuel high fuel intake retrofit pump. Supports up to 800 horsepower. All of this is yours for the same price of a carburetor.
All right, we've got all our fluids topped off. Now we're going with a full synthetic, a 20W50 grade. This is from Federated, so we can handle a lot of the loads from the big power. And we paired it with our Wix extended life filter. And the last step before going in is our motor mounts. Now these we got from Anchor. 2 bolts, got the other side on, and as you can see, it's go time.
A few grunts, 2 words are not safe for television, and we are good to go.
Cool, man. I like it. I like it. Success. It's in the car. It's mounted. We got the fuel injection bolted down. We got the cleaner for the look.
Dude, that looks fantastic, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
All right. So we got to take a quick break from this car, bring back that ARP Camaro. Got a couple things to do with that one. And maybe we'll see this again pretty soon.
Along with the other work the guys are doing today on this Cobra replica, they're also adding some extra lighting by installing XTL LED technology from Grote in the trunk and the engine compartment. This is an easy way to add helpful light in a dark space and to bring a wow factor to the total look of the car. The XTL strips are water resistant and extremely durable, so the lights will be able to stand up to wet weather and sliding cargo. And because they're extremely thin and flexible, it's easy to install these light strips just about anywhere, inside or outside the vehicle. First up, they're using the DIY kit in the trunk. It's battery operated and it installs with 3M tape, so you don't have to install it near a power source, which makes it an easy do-it-yourself project with limitless possibilities. Now, speaking of power, the guys are also adding some XTL light strips in the engine compartment where the power lives. For this next job, they're going with the XTL Professional Installation Kit. This kit comes with everything needed to create a clean, professional-looking install, including a sealed harness that can hook up to 3 XTL strips together. This kit is even compatible with other Grote light strips, so if you want to add some color strips to your ride, you can. You can pick up these XTL LED kits at your local Federated Auto Parts. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Power Stop Brakes. Don't just stop, Power Stop.
Hey guys, welcome back. Check it out. We've got our 2010 ARP Camaro project. We've had a lot of fun on already.
Yeah, man, we put gears in it. Remember, we upgraded to 391s, and we put that new muffler on it, give it a little throatier sound.
Yeah, but we're not done yet. We've got from Chevrolet Performance our new shifter kit.
Yeah, now this is the Gen 5 Camaro short throw suede wrap shifter kit. This is straight out of the ZL1. Short, really fast throw, snappy shifts, man. And you know that's gonna mean a big difference when you're out there banging gears.
Yeah, and you know you wish you bought the ZL1, but you can walk your way pretty close to it with this guy right here.
All right, and look, includes all the hardware, the pins, right? And we got the boot and the shifter handle.
Yeah, all suede, microfiber, really nice. This is a really good grip surface for a shifter, so you're not sliding off of it, getting
Exactly.
sweaty. And if you've never seen a shifter before, this is sort of a modern version in modern cars. They like to rubber isolate them from the transmission so you don't feel it, you know, in the shift knob.
So this isn't actually sitting on top of the transmission, right? It's
Partly.
kind of here, right?
Yeah, so this is mounted the transmission here, but it's rubber isolated. This is mounted up into the body, right up in the shell, and it's kind of rubber isolated. You can see the foam there.
Yeah.
And operation is crazy simple.
Dude, that is nuts.
Yeah, it's just a ball socket, and you know, if I lever it this way and that way, and then if I
Yeah, you see how it rotates?
rotate it, yep.
Now, you think about what this actual mechanism is doing, banging gears, right? Second, third, fourth. Man, you rely so heavily on that, but it's really simple. I mean, look at that design. It's kind of nice, man.
Yeah, pretty simple. Now I'm gonna start on the inside,
Okay.
start stripping all that so we can make some room, and then there's some action on the bottom side that Willie's gonna take care of, so follow me on the car.
Get in there, man.
Now we replaced some of the original hardware with ARP fasteners.
All right, man, nice tag team work. Chevy Performance, short throw shifter, check.
Make a big difference when you're out there grabbing them gears and that.
Yeah, especially the
I know you'd be doing that. I
All
know.
right, well, the Camaro project we're gonna put aside and get back on our Federated Cobra replica, get that eye candy back in here. We'll take a break, see you back in a minute.
Let's go inside the Duplicolor garage. Duplicolor, yes you can, in your garage. Rust is like cancer to your vehicle, and as it continues to spread, it can cause serious damage. Today, we're going to show you how to stop existing rust from spreading. Take a look at this axle. You can see it already has some corrosion. We want to stop that rust from going any further, so we're going to paint it with Duplicolor Rust Barrier Rust Preventative Coating. It's formulated with anti-corrosive properties to help neutralize rust, sealing off the corrosion and keeping it from spreading to the rest of the metal. Rust Barrier comes in flat black, gloss black, and silver. First, scrape away as much of the rust as you can with a wire brush. Then clean it with grease and wax remover. Now we can apply the rust barrier directly over the rusted surface. It can also be applied to bare metal. Rust barrier is available in an aerosol spray, a quart, or a gallon that can be brushed, rolled, or sprayed on. It's isocyanate free so it doesn't irritate your eyes or skin. Once rust barrier has dried, it stays flexible. It won't crack under stress or movement. So prevent further rust and restore your part to like new condition with rust barrier from Duplicolor. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by LMC Truck. No matter where the road takes you, LMC Truck has the parts you need to keep them on the road.
Hey gang, welcome back, and look what came back on the lift. The Federated Cobra Replica Sweepstakes car. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Let's catch you up on what we've done to it. The Cardone rack and pinion. From Centric, we got brakes and all kinds of suspension components. Now, the power plant, 550 horsepower, that came to us from Proformance Unlimited. Sitting on top, breathing all that fuel, is the Phytech EFI. How do we make all of that work? Well, that comes from our friends at Haywire & Company. Now, this is their Cobra kit. Now, obviously, with this wiring kit, you see a lot of things out here. Let's kind of go over it. Now, this will be a true bulkhead disconnect type wiring harness. The actual ground, because it's a fiberglass car, is built right into the bulkhead. And let me show you something. How cool is this? That means you could hide, right, the fuse block here anywhere you want. Say you want it under a seat, you want it behind a glove box. You don't like it in the traditional spot that you'd normally find it, well, you could hide it, okay? Now, speaking of this huge bulkhead, now, this is done to GM color code, but let's say GM's not in your vocabulary. Every 6 inches spelled out, every wire designated exactly what it's for. It's kind of sweet, right? They have all the ends, and the great thing is they'll do the ends and send you all the connections. So if you have an older style GM, you'll get this connection with it already done. If you have a newer style GM, you'll get this one, right? And that way, you just piece it together. Now, let's show you some other things. Now, here we have the dash harness, the alternator output. They bring the key ignition, lights. This would be for the toggle switches, all right? And this is the ignition switch, along with the toggles itself, some garments, and you get a little box of accessories. They like using fusible links, always smart. And you even get like alternator boots, some ends, some shrink wrap and stuff. I'm telling you, what a complete, great kit. It's assembled here in America, made with American wire. And I'm telling you, you pick this up and you will feel the difference.
All right, I'm working on the plumbing for this thing, and you can see I'm using actual segments of Dayco hose, right? And then some custom tubing in between because, this is a custom routing. Now, we've also got, a Dayco poly rib belt on here, Proformance Unlimited put on for us. But what's kind of interesting about the profile is, even though you see these big ribs, there's actually a W profile in there. And that's really good for any misalignment on pulleys, which is the greatest noise factor on belts. It helps quiet it down, along with these kind of crazy little aramid fibers that they blend in the rubber.
Yeah, man, kind of cool. I'm gonna handle the battery now, obviously, with the battery being a trunk. A lot of vibration back there. That's definitely why you wanna go with an AGM battery. Okay. Plus, the life cycle on these things, forever, like twice as long as a regular flooded battery. So I'll get this buttoned up back here, my man.
Cool. Yeah, what's also great is a lot of times these kind of classic cars sit a long time, so that's gonna make it last a lot longer for the battery. A little more progress here. Checking in with you. All right, with the last steps on this project, get all the lighting done, and we went to Grote. And we've got a whole slew of LED lighting to put in this car, and you can get them in any color you need, from white to amber to red, to fit your application. Now, the great thing about LED lighting, SBC, sharper, brighter, and clear. So I've got 7-inch headlights. They go right in where a normal headlight goes in. And what's cool is the connector is a standard H4 connector, plugs right in. And if you don't have say a standard connector, what's cool is Grote gives you a little adapter, which makes it easy to put on just about any application. Now, these Grotes, they have a hard-coated, UV-protected, high-impact lens. It fits right in here. I've got my little kind of retainer ring already on. And I'll just kind of get the last little screws on and put on my nice little trim ring. All right, look at that thing. And the other great factor is it's all DOT approved. So, it's just replacing a normal bulb with just something better. Now, what's cool also is turn signals, all your other lights, your indicators, parking, reverse lights. It's as easy as popping the cover, just like any other bulb. Give it a little twist, and now it's in. Now, the cool thing about replacing an incandescent bulb, these will last about 10 times longer. They're about 2 to 4 times brighter. They react faster when you click them on. So, a whole lot of benefits. They look great. And, I'm gonna get Willie. Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
I am done. Why don't you turn these babies on? Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, get ready for a reveal.
Ta-da!
What do you think, man?
What a cool car, right? This thing is so wicked, so fun. I love it.
Yeah, now check it out. We got our meatball up here, number 85, for when Federated Auto Parts was founded.
Yeah, kind of cool, right?
All our sponsors up here, a great build, lots of help, man, really cool.
Yeah, man, but now we need to hear it.
That's
Fire
right.
it up.
Ready?
Fire it up.
Ready?
Yeah. Think about what we've thrown at this car today. Proformance Unlimited, a 550 horsepower small block. On top of that, the Phytech EFI system. Underneath that, the Cardone rack and pinion steering.
Yeah, brakes, suspension from Centric, belts and hoses from Dayco, rear end from Dana.
We had Tires Easy donate the tires. Rocket Racing donated the rims, man. We are stoked on it.
Grody helped out with all the lighting, Haywire, and again, a big shout out to Shell Valley.
Monroe, Walker all donated things.
Motorcraft, East Penn for the battery, SEM for all the paint, and the guys at Kenny Schrader Racing for laying it down.
Kenny Schrader rules.
That's right.
Hey, let's make him proud. Get this thing on the road, man. Y'all
We're
take
outta
care.
here.
Woo.